Guys, you're about to see an interview that I did with Security National Life's Louisiana Territory Manager, my old friend Stephen Lowry. So, if you've ever considered writing their final expense product, or if you've never heard of them for some reason, this video is definitely going to be perfect for you. And let me just preface what you're about to see by stating that you can email me at doug@ufesonline.com if you'd like to contract with them. And if you'd like a copy of I Am Your Policy, along with a printable copy of the delivery notices that we leave for people while we're door knocking our final expense leads. Now guys, before we roll the interview, I want to invite you to subscribe to our channel and please give this video a thumbs up. That way I won't have to come to your house and put pineapple on your pizza. We'll see how that works for you. And let me just say, there are two reasons that I would write this product as a newer agent. Well, first, they make it stupid easy for you to qualify for their awesome paid conventions. My wife, Mariana, and I will be in Hawaii on the island of Maui at the end of October here in 2021, all on their dime. And the second reason I love their product for a new agent is that they give a 10% bonus that you can use for a lead credit through their qualified lead vendors, including my fixed cost direct mail leads program. All right, let's roll the intro. Oh. Hey guys, today I've got a special guest, an old friend of mine, Stephen Lowry, who is actually one of Security National Life's managers. So let's just jump right into it, please. Stephen, welcome, man.
Doug, it is great to see you as always. Great to help you with your business. And I can't wait to get started, and hopefully I can share something that'll be useful to the folks that rely on you for great information.
Oh, I'm absolutely confident that you definitely will. You know, and some of the stuff that I'm going to ask you and we're going to talk about is really what you do for your agents at Security National Life, and like the product. You know, we'll kind of get into. I've got a few different things we're going to talk about, but I know you and I we're doing a special trip here in a couple months. What is it? End of October, beginning of November, Maui, Hawaii. You got your bags packed or what, man?
I've got my bags packed. I already rented my U-Haul pickup truck to get around the island, and yeah, and I can't wait to get in the shark cage with you, buddy. It's
awesome. Awesome, man. I'm telling you, I looked into the shark cage. They don't have, there's nobody on Maui. We would have to fly to a different island. It's kind of a, I don't know. I'm still in. If you're game, I say let's swim with the great whites.
Yeah, if they don't have cages, we're just gonna. Then I guess the sharks are in danger now because they won't have any protection.
All right. So let me ask you this. So when did you get your insurance license, and how did you start into the insurance business in general?
That's a great question. So I retired from a previous career. I had a military career, and I retired in 2011. And I became a registered rep. And you know, so I did that whole deal. And in figuring out how to market financial services, I stumbled across the insurance forums, and I don't know if you remember, but way back in the day, there used to be a guy on there that was conducting surveys to sell final expense. And he had posted the survey that he used. And I pulled that off, and I went around selling financial services with that exact survey. And I rolled over 401ks all day long and set up IRAs and sold variable products all day long doing that. And but I never was really happy with it. I didn't like securities. I never felt like my clients truly understood the risk that comes with a security. So I wanted to sell life insurance, and so I left, and I was convinced that final expense might not be, you know, at the time I didn't know anything about the life insurance industry other than I liked selling life insurance. but in my math, the calculus that I had done in my own head back in those days, I figured final expense was the fastest way to get a foot in the door in the life insurance world. Um, and so this is 2012, 2013, and since then it has been a very, very fruitful career for me. So I guess I was right. It was a big risk, but and as you know, I had some challenges along the way, and we all do. So that's how I got into the business. I started as a financial representative and shifted over.
Yep. And so, yeah, and and just for the audience, yeah. So I've known Stephen. I think it's been about 8 years now.
Yeah, long time.
We were both selling final expense under the same umbrella, so we kept in contact with each other. I think maybe I started a little bit before Stephen did.
Well, you're
But
glossing over all the good parts, so you're not selling it hard enough. So I'm gonna interrupt you and tell the story, if that's okay. Doug had been through the process with an IMO, and didn't do great with it, but he had recovered and become a very, very successful agent. Well, I didn't know Doug at the time. I just knew who he was from the internet. He was, and so I was failing out of the same exact program. And I sent Doug an email one day and I said, "Hey, you don't know me, but I'm in big trouble. Can I call you?" And folks, 30 seconds later, my phone rings. It's Doug Massi on the other end. And he just, first he told me to calm down and stop crying. And then and then Doug gave me a few small pieces of advice on how to be successful in the life insurance world, in the final expense world. And over the next couple of months, I started to actually make money. One of those pieces of advice was you have to get a contract with Security National Life. So I started at Security National Life as a contracted agent. And over the years, I've moved into management, and that's the whole story. So what I'm trying to tell you folks is that Doug Massi is the whole reason that I survived in this business, because he held my hand, never tried to recruit me, never asked me for money. He was just a friend, and I appreciate it. My heart goes out to you, pal.
thank you. Thank you for the kind words, man. Yeah. Yeah. Those were the good old days. And we all tend to have bumps in the road. I mean, what business starts off smoothly right from the start? It's just not happening.
Right.
And so, okay. So, and you touched on, you're a manager. So let's, I do want to bring something up. I think that's only fair that, you have a specific territory. And so if there's an agent that's watching this that maybe is interested in learning from you, if they're in your territory, they can contract with you, I'm sure. So let me just ask, what is your territory?
I'm going to share my screen if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is me, and here's my territory. It's basically Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Arkansas. So any agents that want to come to Security National Life, if you live in those areas, you can call me directly. Here's my phone number, and we'll make sure we have a good fit. And if we can be useful to you, then we'll go ahead and bring you on board, and we'll help you grow. Now, look, when I started, my territory was this little corner of Louisiana where my cursor's hovering right now, and it's grown over the last 6 years. So we've been fairly successful. We've done an okay job, and I hope we continue to get better and expand. So
Okay.
that's it.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So, all right. So let's kind of get into this. So, I do want to ask you something. I'm curious. I know you do manage a lot of agents. I see your name on the top of the list of being the top manager of the week and the month all the time. So do you actually still go out and sell a little bit?
There's a lead card right there. I got to go see next week. I got to.
All right, hold on a second. Let me see that lead. No, well, wait, you better not. Somebody might end up seeing your client for you. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so you still go out. So
I have to. I have to keep my skills sharp, and I have to know what the challenges are that our agents are up against. For example, right now, I don't know how things are in Florida, but direct mail leads are slow to return these days in my territory. So we've got to be creative. We've got to be dedicated to the process in order to continue to be profitable.
Okay. All right.
As agents, and I mean that from the agent's perspective, not from the company's perspective. As an agent, I've got to get more creative in order to get more sales. That's it.
Absolutely. And it makes sense. And it's good. And I kind of, it's fun. I just hadn't talked to you recently. I really wasn't sure if you were still going out. So that answers the next question, which is basically, if you could maybe describe, an agent that wants to come work with you, and we're going to get into the product here in a couple minutes, but if they wanted to contact you and work with you, kind of describe what you're going to do for them, how you're going to help them to get up and running, to get out there as soon as possible.
I think that success for an agent really begins during the interview process. Okay. And I have learned over even the last year or 18 months, the first question I ask an agent tends to be this: where's that first sale coming from? Where are you going to get that first sale? And I'm pretty forceful and blunt about it, because the point I'm trying to drive home is that every one of us, even company men like me, every one of us is a business owner. And if we don't have a marketing plan, we're not in business. And this is a marketing intensive occupation that we've chosen, and everybody has to. And in my experience, very few agents have ever even thought of that question. Very, very few new agents, have ever even considered, where's that first sale going to come from? Where's the second sale going to come from?
That's
so
good.
I think go ahead.
I was going to say, what we're doing, it's Final Expense is 100% lead driven business.
Yeah. So
it makes sense. So you ask the agent that, you get them into that, and, they're probably, if they're, if you're speaking with some of the same agents that I'm speaking with, they're like, well, you tell me,
right.
How do I want to do this? What kind of leads do I want to work?
And that's exactly what happens. They don't know. But what we've done by interviewing correctly is we've set the stage for the fact that there's a heavy responsibility to run your own business, right? And then now that we've got the correct mindset, training can be more effective. So it starts with product knowledge. Okay, here's how the products work. Here's how to make your business more successful by sticking with a correct product mix. Example. And then we get into sales techniques, and I'm a pretty good salesman. I wouldn't say I'm the best in the world, but I'm pretty good at it. And I do my best to train my agents. I point them to resources for people that I know are excellent trainers. For example, I recommend everybody read the book, The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. He lays out his presentation technique perfectly in that book. And it changed my life. It made me a much better salesperson when I started presenting in the way that Jordan recommends in his book, The Way of the Wolf. And that's it. So what it really comes down to is this: you have to train agents to have the proper mindset, knowing that they have to market themselves. Either you buy leads or you create leads, but either way, it's going to cost you money, right? And you have to be an expert at product knowledge. Otherwise, you're going to be doing things 2 or 3 times in a row. And it's really that. Look, this is a difficult business, but it's not but it's a simple business.
Right?
It's not hard.
Right. And plus, you're still in the field. So, the agents, I'm sure, are welcome to come and do a ride along with you. And
we can do ride-alongs. I've gotten to the point now where I have a handful of agency directors that are direct to me that I kind of rely on to help me with a lot of the training, especially in the far-reaching areas of my territory. So I'm going to make sure that every agent has the opportunity for a ride-along or a door-knocking day or something. We do that. We've got agencies in this territory that have door knocking days. They'll go out and take that exact survey that I was talking about a few minutes ago, go knock doors and create leads. And
awesome. Okay.
Super successful.
All right. So let me ask you this: if a new agent asked you, "Hey, Stephen, why would I come and work with you? What would be the benefits to do this with you over one of these other companies?" What would you say?
I would say that that, you know, every insurance company is a little bit different, but they're all kind of the same. We do bring a couple of things to the table at Security National Life that in my opinion, make us completely stand out. One is the market sales directors, of which I am one of 8. There are 8 of us. I don't know of another insurance company that has a manager over independent agents that works as closely with independent agents as we do. If there are any like that, I'm not aware of them, but I think that that's very important. We have a lot of really, really successful agents, and I think that some of that can be attributed to the fact that they've got a partner in this thing with them.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So, and the other thing would be the lead credit. The lead credit program effectively doubles your commission. It effectively doubles your commission. So,
hold on a second. Can we get into that a little bit? Can you explain exactly how the lead credit program works?
Absolutely. Would you mind if I share my screen for a moment?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me get to the appropriate page. Here's our lead credit program. So what happens is every time an agent sells a policy, we put a 10% bump aside. This is over and above the agent's commission. It's not commission. It's over and above. That agent can accumulate that 10% and use it to buy leads. Okay. So here's what happens. 10% is just about the magic number. It allows us to pretty much allow an agent to buy a week's worth of leads with lead credit. Now, the agent always has to put in half. Remember, I said earlier, an agent that doesn't have a marketing plan is not in the business, right? So every agent should have a marketing budget. Let's call it $50 a week, okay? If that agent's willing to spend $50 a week and they make a sale, they're going to earn $50 in lead credit. On top of their commission, next week they can buy 2 leads instead of 1 lead. That's what I'm saying. It allows the client or the agent to make twice as many sales, because if they manage their lead credit account correctly, which I will teach them how to do, they're going to be able to buy twice as many leads. It's just as simple as that. There's nothing magic about it. It's simple. But as you pointed out to earlier, you got to have somebody to talk to in order to be successful in this business. That's how we approach it. So there are some catches. The first catch is that you have to have a persistency of 70% or greater in order to use your lead credit. Not to accumulate it. You can still accumulate it, but you can't use it until you get your persistency up. If an agent's persistency is below 70%, they've already heard from me. So we already know what's going on. We do cap it at $4,000, and an agent has to produce regularly. Okay, so here's the big one. In order to use lead credit, an agent has to activate $1,500 annual premium in the last 30 days. It's not a calendar month. It's a rolling 30 days. That does not apply to new agents in their first 60 days. Would you mind if I sidetrack just a little bit and talk about what we do for new agents?
Cool.
Okay. So a new agent who comes on board is going to be entered in our Fast Start bonus program. If that agent sells their first policy in 2 weeks, we're going to give them the lead credit that they earn from that policy plus a bonus of $250 in lead credit, plus a fancy polo shirt, just like this one. If that agent writes about 7 policies, which is $3,500 annual premium in their first 30 days, that's less than 2 a week, they're going to get another $250 lead credit bonus on top of the lead credit that they earned from those sales. And the same thing happens in the next 30 days. So at the end of an agent's first 30 days, if they've met all the milestones, which are very reasonable milestones, they'll have about $1,400 worth of lead credit in their account, ready to buy leads with, and they will have earned $7,000 or so of commission checks.
Nice.
Now, yeah. So $1,400 will buy about 90 leads, which is going to generate another $12,000 or $14,000 worth of income, and it circles just like that. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Our lead credit program effectively doubles your horsepower as an agent that's out there marketing their business.
Yeah, and let me just say that these numbers, you guys, it's not like you're asking for much to these are easily attainable numbers for anybody who's doing this full time.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're putting in your 8 hours a day, you're going to meet these numbers. You're going to far exceed them. Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. So I want to get into the product a little bit. And let me just say, one of the reasons that we're going to be hanging out in Maui is because of the product. I mean, I'll just start. One of the things I love about it is the darn thing. It's just a 4-page application. So I come from the old, fully underwritten life insurance, so I'm used to a 30-page application it requires like 8 signatures, and you're missing stuff and getting amendments constantly. And nice thing about final expense, of course, we don't have that. So let's talk about your product a little bit here.
Okay. Well, our flagship product is called the Simple Security Plan, and it starts at age 40, goes through age 90 for preferred and standard clients. It stops at age 85 for modified clients. Got very reasonable rates. The rates are, I'd say, at the lower end. I wouldn't say we have the lowest rates out there, but it's at the lower end. I'm personally of the opinion that rates don't matter that much anyway. I think clients want an agent they feel like they can trust, and clients want a company that they are aware of and know who they are. I think they're willing to pay a few extra dollars to get that. Not that they will with us. We still have extremely competitive rates, and I think we're going to stay that way.
I
Our
agree.
underwriting is very, very simple.
Yeah, and could you kind of explain to me what consists of the underwriting? We know there's no blood work, it's not like with the Foley stuff. What exactly do you guys do for underwriting? And when I send in on paper, I'm old school. I still don't do an EApp. I think I did one EApp just to try it years ago, and I was like, no, I like paper. So once someone sends in the application, what's the underwriting process, and how long does it take before you find out that it's approved or offered something else?
Within 24 hours. If we receive a policy before 10:30 Mountain Time, we're going to process it today. If it comes in after 10:30 Mountain Time, we're going to process it tomorrow morning. You'll know by lunch tomorrow if it's approved, declined, or rated, right? And then you'll be able to act on any amendments that need to take place. But you're gonna know where that policy stands within a day, and our agent portal has a section that keeps track of it, so you can see everything. I can't show it to you, unfortunately, because it's got all the agents' names and their business on it. But an agent can see it, and yeah, it's very easy. So underwriting consists of two things: the answers to the medical questions on the paper application. I like paper too, and we're going to talk about the sales techniques in a moment. I'm going to bring that up, and a script check. That's it. We don't do MIBs. We don't do APSs. We simply do a script check, and script checks are pretty detailed. We catch a lot of things by looking at script checks, but that's it. That's all we got to do. So I would say that it's incumbent upon the agent to get pretty forceful when it comes to collecting the medications. You got to drill down on those things. You got to remind your client that, hey, you might have some stuff in a drawer somewhere that you don't take, but it's been prescribed to you. So I need to know about it. Right. So
Right. And so as long as the agent follows the questions with the client and makes sure that they're clear about getting the client off the couch to go grab the medication, in most cases, they're going to know exactly what to do based on I know you guys have a very intensive medication list too.
We do. We try to keep it up to date as best we can. It's always changing. The terrain is always changing when it comes to medications, but we try to keep it as up to date as we can and as useful as we can.
Okay, yeah. And let me just ask you real quick about the EApp. So I don't do the EApps, but I know that some companies the EApps take about a half an hour to do. Other companies, it's more like 15 minutes. Now with the EApp, how long does it take, and when did they get an approval on that application, or is it the same?
Okay, so when you do an EApp, we have, because we don't take a electronic signature, we take a voice signature. So the final step of the EApp is a phone call to the home office with the client so that we can read the disclosures and get their verbal authorization to proceed with the application. I do that whenever I do an EApp, I do it immediately. I've still got the client on the phone and I make a three-way phone call and we get it done. Underwriting takes place during that phone conversation. So we have an answer when we hang up the phone. We know what's going to happen. Now, if the office is closed, you could always use our second option, which is optical, or you can wait until tomorrow morning. If you don't know the optical option, please give me a call. I have my phone number posted up a little while ago. I'll talk you through it. I prefer the home office. That's just me. And I'll tell you why. The home office views your client as their client, and it's personal to them, just like it is to you. So
excellent. And guys, by the way, I'm going to have Steven's information down below the video, so you can actually just scroll it up to it, and you'll be able to see that also. So, and let me just to verify something. So when they do the EApp, they get on the phone and do the phone interview. They're going to find out if the client is approved or not then and there. Is that correct?
yes, sir. We run the script check in the background.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So, all right. So let me ask you this, a little kind of a trick question. So, let's say you've got an agent who's been in this business for a while and they're working like a broker. They're using multiple carriers. And guys, by the way, if you're new, I think Steven will agree with me on that. You don't really want to start that way. You want to really concentrate on one carrier, one product. You want to learn that product first. But being with that, let's say, Steven, you're talking to someone who's, in the field, they're selling other products. Why would they want to use your product? Really, what are the niches, those special niches? And let me just say, one of them, by the way, is the price. You're right. You guys do have a very competitive price.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got a good price. I think we've got a good commission structure on top of that. And again, I'm not convinced that either of those things matter that much. I think that what really matters is having a platform that an agent can stand on and make money. And what that means is easy underwriting. That means not easy, but predictable underwriting. That's a better word. Home office support. Doug, I know that you know half the people at the home office by name and they know you, right?
Of course. Of course.
And it's the same with a lot of our agents. They're able to just kind of build a relationship over time. The market managers, as I alluded to a little while ago, I'm not trying to toot my own horn by that, but I work for the agent. Those are my bosses, and I don't think you're going to find that at a lot of other insurance companies. Maybe you will, but we try to be as good or better than they are at it. We try to really be useful all day long, and as far as underwriting niches, I'm not sure we have any. We're pretty balanced when it comes to underwriting. I'm not, there are certain companies where you sneak your COPD patients in, and some where you take your dialysis clients.
Yeah,
that's not us. That's not us. What we're trying to do is provide an agent a platform they can stand on and build a career and a livelihood for their families for years. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and honestly, once again, it really, I mean, there are a few niches. That's the type of thing you figure out when you start working with the product. But I will say, like the first day coverage is very competitive. A lot of companies, and this is what I like about Security National Life, with a lot of companies, if you got a client who has COPD, you mentioned that, they've got other health issues. Now you have to go to their graded or their modified product, and the price just goes crazy. With Security National Life, my experience is you guys, that your modified product is very, very competitive.
Yeah, I think it is. I think we're able to hold our own against anybody out there when it comes to our modified rates. And I think that it's as simple as that. I think we're pretty competitive. Yeah. And I wish I had something witty to say, but I don't.
No, but you are. It is. There's a reason we write it. There's a reason I'm going to Hawaii. And not to toot my own horn, but there's a reason that I was Security National Life's #1 agent 3 years in a row.
Right.
they got a good product. You guys have an awesome product.
Right.
Okay, so I kind of want to kind of close out a little bit and ask you a couple of questions I've got noted here. So, what do you think stands out about working with Security National Life and the products you have over the competitors, the other companies?
Well, I think that we try to help agents do something that I think is very important, which is, and you alluded to it a little while ago, focus on one thing. I know thousands of insurance agents. I know a handful are very, very wealthy and successful that do multiple products. Most of the ones that I know that are very, very successful do one thing and one thing alone. I know a guy that writes insurance on movie sets. He's making a great living. I know a guy that writes only over the road truckers. That's all he does all day long is over the road truckers. Makes a great living. He's focused. I know probably 1,000 super successful. I'm talking 150,000 or more per year final expense agents that do one thing, final expense. I could say the same thing about Medicare. I don't know a whole lot of agents. I know a few, but not a whole lot that do both and are making that kind of money. And maybe I'm just sheltered. I don't know, but those are, in my experience, that's what I see. I find that agents that focus kill it. They do better.
No, I agree with you. I know, and like you bring up Medicare, Medicare and final expense, it's like, final expense is like the easiest type of life insurance or product to sell. And that compared to Medicare, which is the most complicated thing I've ever looked at. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. It always start with one thing anyways.
Yeah. Please be great at one thing before you, and I don't care what that one thing is. It might be over the road truckers, but do one thing. And then if you feel the need to expand, then do that.
What did you, okay, now wait a minute. You said you know someone who does the truckers, and did you say moose heads? What'd you say?
Movie sets.
Oh, movie sets. I thought you said moose heads. I'm like, moose heads?
No, not moose heads. Movie sets. So he insures the equipment and the props and all the things that are brought in case something gets damaged. That's it. Okay. That's what he does.
Interesting.
He insures against weather. He insures against, things that would prevent filming from going forward.
Okay. So I'm pumped up for Hawaii. I got my Hawaiian shirts. I've got some hats. I'm like so ready. It's unfortunately, guys, if you're watching this video, it's too late for Hawaii. However, it's not too late for the next carrier trip. Maybe talk about, what the qualifications are, what the time frame is to get the qualifications, and yes, do the screenshots and maybe do we know where we're going? What do we know about this next carrier trip?
Well, we know that we've got two choices. Okay, we are either going to go to Bali in Southeast Asia, or we will be going to Peru. We don't know which yet. However, either way, it's going to be awesome. Folks, if you've never been on a Security National Life trip, we do world-class trips because we want you to know what world-class looks like. It's as simple as that, because we want you to live that life. So to qualify, it's going to be $90,000 in annual premium with a first-year persistency of 80%. And a second-year persistency of 65%. These are reasonable goals. I wouldn't say they're easy. You're going to have to work in order to get there, but it's doable. It's doable for every single agent that starts today.
And I would also say, I know it's just started a month or two ago, but yeah, it's still doable for anybody, again, that works full time and sticks with this market. There's no reason that you're going to miss this trip. There really isn't. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for visiting with me today. I really appreciate it. I know our viewers are going to love this, and I think we need to set something up and maybe do something like this again sometime, man. Maybe Oh, wait, that just came out. The thought just came, maybe even in Hawaii.
Yes. I like the way you think, Doug Massi.
Well, you know what? Maybe even what? Okay, so I'm starting to watch live streaming videos.
Okay.
Maybe a live stream. Oh,
maybe we should wear hula skirts.
All right, you're done. That's it, bro. Thanks for visiting. Take it easy, buddy. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate you very much.
Awesome.